meaningless because a child is not even prepared because all you've done is bought those exams.
The time is 27 minutes to 7 on this 24th day of October 2018. This is Morning Express. We've got your morning covered. And this morning, well, it's time for us to look at what's making headlines on the dailies. Joining me to have that conversation is Kevin Osido. He's from County Governance Watch. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Shukran.
And yeah, we'll dig in straight into the dailies. And as usual, we're going to start off with the Standard, where we have Uhuru strikes at the heart of maize cartel. Now, this, of course, is no secret, as we have seen the president literally lash out on the CS for Agriculture, CS Kiunjuri, twice in public. A very annoyed-looking president, basically saying that we need to get to the bottom of this. But as recent as yesterday, we now have the CS blaming the DCI and the EACC and saying that they're dragging their feet. We've already presented people that we feel might be Persons of interest, as we call them, 152 of them, or organizations. Your thoughts, Kevin, on the blame game from the president to the CS, now CS to EACC and DCI?
Thank you so much, Mike. I think, in my view, I see two things. One is, of course, the president is following up on his war on graft and corruption. And I think that in the public eye is very progressive. It's very promising. It's a show of might from where the president sits, that I am on top of things, that I need to deal with this issue of corruption. Because indeed, we all know, and as economists will say, that we lose a lot of resources in terms of financial resources that are supposed to go into changing the lives of the people of Kenya. And so the president is coming out there to be able to say that it doesn't matter who you are. We will come for you. And I think in Kakamega he was very categorical and following up from the show where he said, if you don't get to the bottom of this, you will be, you'll have to go. Consequences. Then the second thing I see is a frustrated president, and I think this public outcry is not going to help him. He is the one who's at whose back really, rather at whose door the buck stops. And so he needs to call his CS and tell him, gentlemen, what is going on? Can you be frank with me and tell me exactly? This is really an indoor and over-the-table coffee, more or less, discussion. And I'm sure that given the institutions, because when DCI and ODPP come to the fore, it shouldn't be a blame game. These are people who then need to take action.
Do we expect too much from the president in the sense that he has made it public that, I need the CS to do something about it, but given the confines of his work and the law, how much can what more can he do other than give directive and say this needs to be done? Because again, at the end of the day, these cartels cannot be arrested on feelings or hearsay. There has to be credible evidence.
Precisely, and that is why I agree with the CS, because he says, I can't investigate and I can't prosecute. So he's going to the front and saying, DCI, ODPP, please proceed. EACC, come on board and all that. But you see, again, on the other hand, remember that this war was begun by His Excellency the President. And from where the President sits and the kind of intelligence briefs that I'm sure that he receives, he is not aware. I mean, he's not exactly. He has a lot of information. He knows what he's doing. And for a busy president like President Uhuru to talk about this twice on two very important occasions,
and on a very short space of time.
Exactly. It means there is something he knows which is not being told, or he's not seeing it happening.
He even went to the extent of giving details of some of the farmers and even the number of acreage of farms that some would have.
And even that he must have even saying, I own farms, and they're not small pieces of land. It's this huge. So there's something which I'm sure the president is aware about, and I think that therefore the institutions that are in charge and responsible for some of these things need to come and assist the president. If the CS is not sure, if he's not